Why are we all so damn lazy? Seriously, think about it for a second. How many times have you told yourself that today was going to be different? You were going to clean your room, go to the gym, start that project you've been putting off, maybe study for that test, maybe finally learn that skill you've been thinking about learning for months. Then somehow you blink and it's midnight. You've watched 40 videos, spent an hour trying to decide what to watch, checked your phone every 5 minutes, doom scrolling, and now you're laying in bed wondering where the entire day went. The immediate reaction is most people have is to blame themselves. They think, man, I'm just lazy. But honestly, I don't think that's true at all. If humans were naturally lazy, we wouldn't have built civilizations, we wouldn't have crossed oceans, built skyscrapers, invented airplanes, or spent thousands of hours mastering skills. Humans are clearly capable of insane amounts of effort. So if we're not lazy, why does it feel so hard to do anything these days? I think the answer is that our brains are basically jumping from every direction imaginable. Think about the average day. The first thing most people do when they wake up is grab their phone and scroll TikTok for about 4 hours, if it's a lazy day. But before they even touch their feet to the floor, they're just consumed with this mind-numbing content. Then throughout the day, it's videos, notifications, memes, messages, games, music, podcasts, more videos, more notifications, and more distractions. There is never a moment where your brain is just left alone in silence. The second boredom shows up, entertainment is available in a snap of a finger. And I'm not saying phones are evil, because I spend way too much time on mine as well. But let's be honest with ourselves. If you gave a caveman TikTok, civilization would have ended before it started. That guy would have spent 12 hours watching mammoth hunting clips and never discovered how to start a fire. The thing is, your brain loves these easy rewards. It always has. Your dopamine skyrockets. If I offered you $10 for pressing a button, or $10 for digging a hole for 3 hours, you were probably going to press that button. That's just how humans work. That's how we're wired. We naturally want the easiest path to a reward. The problem is that modern technology has become the greatest reward machine ever created. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to leave your room. You don't even have to stand up. You just keep scrolling and your brain keeps getting little hits of entertainment over and over again. Then, when it's time to do something that actually requires effort, like working out, studying, practicing a skill, or making progress on a goal, suddenly your brain acts like you've been asked to climb Mount Everest barefoot. What's even crazier is that I don't think people realize how bad we've gotten at being bored. When was the last time you were actually genuinely bored? Not fake bored, I mean genuinely bored. No phone, no music, no videos, no game in the background. For me, I can't even remember the last time I've been genuinely bored. Maybe it's just because of all the clutter in my mind. But just imagine sitting there with your thoughts. Most people cannot do that anymore. The second boredom appears, we are reaching for our phones like it's a life or death situation. But boredom used to be where things happened. People got ideas because they were bored. People learned skills because they were bored. People went outside because they were bored. People built things because they were bored. Now, boredom lasts about 7 seconds before somebody opens social media. And here's the problem. Almost every meaningful thing in life starts out boring. Going to the gym is boring at first. Learning guitar is boring at first. Learning a language is boring at first. Starting a YouTube channel is boring at first. Drawing is boring at first. Coding is boring at first. Pretty much every rewarding skill starts out having a period where you suck at it and progress feels mind-numbingly slow. But it might feel unbearable. That's why so many people quit. It's not because they're incapable. It's because they're comparing real life to entertainment, and real life loses every single time. But people also talk about motivation way too much. Everyone is obsessed with motivation. They watch motivational videos, listen to motivational speeches, save motivational quotes, and wait around for motivation to magically strike. But motivation is honestly kind of a scam. Nobody feels motivated all the time. You know, they can tell you they're motivated all the time, but that's not 100% true. Not athletes, not musicians, not successful entrepreneurs, not creators, nobody. Not even David Goggins is motivated all the time. He might tell you that, but I promise you, there's times where he's not motivated. Most people who achieve impressive things aren't waking up every morning feeling like a superhero. They just do the thing anyway. Meanwhile, the rest of us are waiting for some magical feeling that never arrives. Nobody has ever jumped out of bed excited to do laundry. Nobody has ever screamed, "Let's go! I get to do homework today." That's just not how humans work. Now, what I've noticed is that the hardest part of almost anything is starting. Going to the gym isn't hard once you're there. Studying isn't hard once you've actually opened a book. Making a YouTube video isn't hard. Once you've opened your editing software, the hardest part is getting yourself to begin. Once you've started, your brain usually adjusts and says, well, I guess we're just doing this now. That's why one of the best things you can do is make your goals stupidly small. Want to work out? Don't tell yourself you'll spend 2 hours in the gym. Tell yourself you'll do 5 push-ups. Want to read? Read 1 page. Want to practice a skill? Do it for 5 minutes. It sounds ridiculous, but your brain hates big tasks. When you see a big task in front of you, it can seem extremely demotivating because you don't even know where to start sometimes. But that doesn't matter because once you've started, you'll end up doing more than you planned anyway. Another thing that gets ignored is the fact that a lot of people aren't lazy at all. They're exhausted from the work they have to do. Most people work 40 hours a week in adulthood, every single week, no break, and it can be extremely tiring. They're exhausted. People are sleeping less, spending more time online, dealing with more information than any generation before them, and constantly comparing themselves to other people. Every time you open social media, somebody your age is apparently making 6 figures, traveling the world, getting shredded, starting businesses, and living their dream life. Meanwhile, you're eating cereal at 1 a.m. watching random videos just like this one. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to watch this video. I'm just saying you're gonna feel behind doing that. I'm behind in my own situation. I feel behind from my peers. I feel like I haven't done enough to prove myself. Your brain was never designed to compare itself to billions of people. 100 years ago, you would compare yourself to your neighbors. You didn't even know of other existing people. And now you're comparing yourself to every successful person on earth simultaneously. Just think about it. Caveman back in the BC days, they just made, they have a family, you know? They have a family out there and they don't know any other people. They just know them, their family, and their friends. They don't know what else is out there. They just live, they do what they have to do, and they work. I think that's part of why so many people feel stuck. It's human nature. The gap between where they are and where they want to be feels so massive that they don't even know where to start. They look at the mountain and decide it's impossible before taking a single step. But the truth is, most successful people aren't some different species. They are not productivity machines. They are not superhuman. They are usually just people who kept showing up when everyone else stopped. That's it. It's honestly a boring answer. Nobody wants to hear it, but it's true. Success is usually just repeating simple actions for a very long time. Nobody wants to hear that because it's not exciting. People want a secret trick, a life hack, a hidden formula, but most of the time, the answer is consistency. So, are we lazy? I really don't think so. I think we're distracted, we're overstimulated, we're overwhelmed. Our serotonin and dopamine levels are off the roofs, and it just keeps on getting higher with all these new developments in entertainment. I'm not saying entertaining yourself is bad. I'm just saying that it is ruining the way we think about ourselves, and it's ruining the productivity of modern day humans. We're tired. I think we're living in a world where every company on earth is fighting for our attention every second of every day. That is a difficult battle for anybody to win. But that doesn't mean we're doomed. It just means we have to be aware of what's happening. Put your phone down once in a while. Meditate. Go sit in the grass. Be one with nature. That's just really what it's all about. I'm telling you, that is what it's all about. Have you ever just closed your eyes outside and felt the breeze? Do one thing you've been avoiding for just 10 minutes. Because 10 minutes is infinitely better than 0. Infinite. It's actually insane the difference. What you can do in 10 minutes versus 0. Start small. And maybe, just maybe, you're not lazy at all. Maybe you've just been getting distracted this entire time.